Always a special opportunity, no matter if it's you're a college player, a high school player. If you play the game and you have your senior night, it's very special. And one of the things we talked about is we were going to enjoy the moment, not just talk about the game and actually spend time on, when these guys run out there, they have their families there. And, it's an emotional day. These guys have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program. They deserve it. They deserve to be recognized. And nobody knows how hard they've worked, but the guys on their team. And it's not just about the games to go out there and play. So a lot of really great people in that senior class, a lot of great production in that senior class. And tonight they were able to go out there and get a win at home in front of our crowd. And that was certainly exciting. So we're going to enjoy this, and we're going to enjoy the moment for these guys and let them take it in. And then tomorrow we'll get back to work. We got Air Force. We need to finish. We all understand that. But this has been a really exciting football team to work with this year. It has been, and we put ourselves in a position now to go finish this season, and we'll see what happens after that. But tonight was awesome. It was exciting to watch those guys go out there and play, and this has just been an incredible bunch to work with. So one more, trying to be 1-0, and that's our mindset moving forward. So with that, open up for questions.
Just kind of want to ask how the offense, even the last couple of weeks, has sort of evolved a bit. Obviously, Brett throws 109 yards. Normally, you wouldn't want that, but when you run the ball as well as you did, you'll gladly take it. Just how has that kind of changed? And obviously, with Jeremy being able to do it week after week. Yeah,
well, I think it starts with running the football. I'm not sure how many drives we had tonight. They shortened the game a little bit. They ran the ball too. This went fairly quickly. We didn't have as many opportunities as we usually have, but we came in here to run the ball. We came in this game plan to run the ball. Don't know if we were going to, in looking ahead or looking at the game plan, if we were going to run it as much as we did. But they showed us some things on the defensive side that just presented opportunities to keep running it. And I think the way Jeremy was running it too. Obviously, when he's hot and making plays like that, you want to keep giving it to him. And we tried to throw it, and we had a few check plays in there that got us out of some runs to pass, and then we went back to just running the football. So sometimes you got to kind of pay attention. You want all your guys to have opportunities. You want to give everybody a chance. They all practice. They all have plays. They all have things that they've been working on all week long. So it's not just a one-man show, but sometimes when a guy's feeling it, you give him a chance to go out there and carry the rock, and that's what he did tonight.
And when you have that going for you, how nice is that for your passing game and for Brett Rippon to know he doesn't have to sling it 35 times?
Yeah, well, I think any quarterback will want to go out there and throw the ball as much as they can. And that's what you love about a quarterback mentality. They'd like to go out there and sling it for 50 plays. But when you can run the ball, you should give yourself some one-on-one matchups, and then you've always got something to fall back on, too. You can run it. In certain situations, too, when it's obvious passing downs and you can still run it and get a big chunk, all that does is it keeps the defense off balance, keeps your quarterback from not putting himself in a bad position where they know you're going to throw it, and it keeps you more on schedule with third downs. I don't know what the third downs were tonight, but I think we executed fairly decent on the third downs again this week, and that goes back to being able to run it and putting ourselves in manageable third downs. What's that? 7-12. Okay. Yeah, so not bad.
Guys were a little bit shorthanded at linebacker today, obviously with Tanner not being in, Van Der Esch, and then obviously Joe Martirano's injury. Yeah. But Darren Lee, I think, led you guys in tackles. Whitlock had a nice game. Just talk a little bit about that unit. It's got to be nice to see guys just not miss a beat.
Yeah, well, Darren Lee has started for us. Darren Lee's played a lot. Darren Lee is going to be ready to go. Darren Lee's a tremendous leader. And so whether he's the starter, if he's the starter, he's prepared to play. If he's the backup, he's prepared to play. And tonight, unfortunately, Joey got hurt. And we'll know more about exactly how long he's out. He'll be out for the next game, no doubt about that. But what does it mean moving forward? Tanner not being out there, not having Leighton out there, that unit, we've had some injuries and things happen to it. And then you got a guy like Darren Lee that continues to each and every week step up and make plays. And he's not fully healthy. Those guys are all, especially that position, that's one of the most physical positions in football. And he goes out there, and when it's time to turn it on, he plays. So not only is he a very good football player and he's efficient for us, but he's a great leader out there too. And guys respect him when he has to go out there and step up like he did.
How special is that group up front that you have? And I mean, the 3 senior offensive linemen were brought in, and it sounded like they took the Wyoming loss pretty personally, and
Sure.
just the level of physicality that those guys have been playing with over the last 3 games now.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. That's a tough unit to replace with the production that you have in there, and probably I think people would look at it from that standpoint. It's just a fun group. You guys will get a chance to see these guys every day in meetings and what they do and the characters they are and just what they bring to this team, and how extremely smart they are. Travis, Baggett, Mario, those are 3 of the smartest football players we've ever had here. And when you've got that up front and you're able to make adjustments and make calls and do different things, you're not putting all that on your quarterback, you're not putting it on the coaches have to check out of things. These guys can do this. They can handle it. They look forward to it. It's hard to sit there and just say, when you don't have that any longer, what do you do? And I know Coach Huff, myself, and everybody on this team, we love those guys. It's a great group, and they take everything personally. Not just a lot. They take everything personally. They have their goals each and every week, what they're trying to reach. They may not say it, but they got their personal goals, and they'll talk about it after the game. But that's what makes that group so much fun.
With Jeremy, I mean, third 200-yard game for the season for him, and obviously with what he's doing, I think he leads the nation in touchdowns. I think right now total yards he leads the nation too. I mean, how special really is what he's doing this season, and that's 2 in a row here. And it was about this time, 2 years ago when speculation started about Jay and all that and his future and stuff. He said he hadn't talked about it, or thought about it. But I mean, what have you thought about it, or talked to him about it, or kind of know what might be down the line on that path?
Well, I'll answer your first question. He is special, and I think it goes back to all the stuff we talked about. He's prepared himself for this type of season. He does it each and every week. He'll go right back into the training room tomorrow. He'll get back into the film room, and he'll prepare himself to go play against Air Force. And I think great running backs do that. They have a routine each and every week that they have to get themselves back into physical shape to go play at the level that he's playing at right now. Because, again, that's a physical position, and he's playing physical. He's playing fast. I don't think you don't see him hesitate. I think his speed has gotten better. So his production, the guys up front, the tight ends, the O-line, those guys are doing a great job for him. Wide receivers are blocking down the field. Thomas Spurbeck tonight, I didn't see it, but I know he had a big hit. I saw the end of it. And when you got a guy like that running the ball, everybody's involved. So as far as his future, no, we haven't had that conversation. And that's one thing I appreciate about McNichols is he's very focused on what we're doing right now. All those things, they'll present themselves when it's time, but he's trying to finish this season. He's going to think the exact same way when going to Air Force, and then whatever happens from there, those conversations can be had. But he's certainly a very special player.
Coach, from your perspective, what do you feel like has been the most improvement that you've seen since the Wyoming game, whether it be unit or the type of play that you guys are doing? What would you say has been getting better for you guys since then?
Well, I think there's been a lot of things. Special teams. We've made some. We've won the field position battle on special teams in some areas. Our punt team has done very well. Sean Whale and the field position, I think, has been a big part of our success. And tonight we got some return yards. We had some big returns on kickoff return, on punt return, which we've been really striving for. But I think overall we've ran the ball more effectively. If you're talking in all 3 phases, we've ran the ball more effectively. I think that we've covered better in the secondary. We created some turnovers. We didn't win the turnover battle tonight, but we have created turnovers in the secondary and at safety. And then I think on special teams we're just doing a better job of getting better field position. And tonight we had great field position on a few returns, but that's not always going to happen. If you're starting at the 20 or you're starting at the 30, that's a big difference. And I think that unit has, or those units on special teams have stepped up. In the return game and primarily kickoff return, we've been better in punt.
After your second drive, you go 19 plays, 8 minutes, and score. Then the next one was 1-play drive. So what was it like for the offense to, after doing all that work, that must have been nice to have a really nice short one on the next one after that?
Yeah, we were just looking for 10-play drive, so we just evened it out, right, on 2 drives there is what we did. Yeah, that, anytime you can put together, you're trying to chew up some clock a little bit when you run the ball. And that wasn't intentional necessarily. We just got into that type of rhythm. And we were punching it, kind of down at them a little bit physically and running the ball downhill. But the one-play drives are nice too. And I know the defensive coaches wouldn't necessarily say that, but when you're able to put the ball in on a one-play opportunity, it's explosiveness, for your offense, and it gives guys confidence. And now you're rolling. You can come back and do it again, hopefully.
It was a couple, I think it was 3 weeks ago. It was the game after the Wyoming game where you said that you guys kind of wanted to get back to doing what you do, and that was running the football. Just kind of curious what maybe kind of caused that moment, because there's certainly been a huge emphasis over the last 3 weeks to run the football.
I think it's been emphasized. I think we were, a few of those games, like I said, everybody goes out there and practices. We've got very good wide receivers. We've got a very good quarterback too. And then I think the way some of the teams are playing us, you got to run the ball. We saw tonight there was a couple calls in there, and we took a shot, and they played coverage, and at that point it's like, all right, if you want to do that, we're going to go back to running it and get them back into playing tighter, where we can take our opportunities on a shot play and so on. And when you're doing that, you get into a rhythm. When you get into a rhythm and you can run it, and you keep the ball on the ground, then that's really where you're going to have some of those explosive runs like we're talking about, but you're also going to have some drives where we can chew the clock up a little bit. And that helps your team out. It helps your defense out when you do that, and not trying to get them back on the field in 3 and out or throw the ball 3 times. So I think it's just a matter of we're running it better, we're doing it more effectively, and I think it's been working for us.
No secret that tomorrow afternoon could be real big for you guys. Mario said, "Yeah, I'm going to watch. I'm going to root for San Diego State because I want another home game." How do you guys look at this? I know you're saying kind of do what you can control, but tomorrow you guys have a chance to put it back in your own hands, I guess.
Yeah, well, they do. We just get to sit there and watch. Tomorrow we're going to focus on Air Force. Yeah, guys will watch that game. We know that we need some help, and certainly we want that, and we'll pay attention to it. But at the same time, that's not going to be the deciding factor. It's going to be how we finish. And Air Force is a very good football team. We know that. Last time, 2 times we played them. So we'll get our work done. We'll see what happens. We'll see what type of help we get. San Diego State's a good football team. So is Wyoming. But they got to play that game, and all we can do is sit back and watch and then prepare ourselves to go play Air Force.
You've talked about how important the run game is, and one of the guys from the O-line earlier was saying the thing that impresses him most about Jeremy is his vision, and I'm always impressed by that too. So what I'm wondering is, how have you seen him develop that over the years, or is it something he came in with naturally and it's just been there? Yeah,
well, he had it. He's always been a very good back and had vision. It develops over time with the schemes you're running too. I think the one thing, we ran a couple concepts tonight that McNichols was saying this is what we should run going into the game. So, on Monday it's like, hey, I think this is going to be good. I like this. Okay, well, if he likes it and you look at it, you're like, yeah, that is good. And all of a sudden, he has confidence. He's a very bright player. Not just a great vision on the football field, but he understands what we're trying to do offensively, running the football. So he game plans too and comes up with his ideas, and then he knows how the defense is going to react the way we run certain plays. And great example is sometimes, we're running something inside and you see him bounce, and all of a sudden he's in that mode now where he's kind of cruising into the end zone. Well, he's set it up that way, and he knows that. And when that's going to happen, we couldn't tell you. That's the one thing about his vision and what he does. But I think that's what great backs do. They set it up, and then when there's that opportunity, they bounce it, or they hit it, right down the middle, wherever he's thinking about going with it, and creates big runs that way.